What up, folks? I'm ultrazillatoys. Today I have a review of the Hiya Toys Exquisite Basic Godzilla X Kong the New Empire Shimo. That's right, my zillions. Fresh off the production line, fresh out of AliExpress, we have ourselves a Hiya Shimo, and this box is absolutely beat up. And I'm sure you might have seen my unboxing of it already. I gave a quick, unboxing of it the other night for Easter, because the news of it came out for Easter last year. So I thought it was a really interesting thing to, put out on Easter. A little synergy between my UltraZ news and the unboxing. So it took a long time for it to finally come out, but it is out. It's out in China now, not here in the US. Don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if the schedule is going to be perfect. With all the tariffs going on, and this is why I decided, you know what, let me pull the trigger at AliExpress while I still can. Yes, I paid a little bit more for it there, but only a little bit more. I actually found one dealer that was selling it pretty, low, all things considering. I mean, not low like the prices here, but considering tariffs coming up and whatever, I was fine with paying it. And with shipping and tax here at BBTS, let's say, where I had my pre-order, I think this only came out to like $5-6 more. I think I'm good with that. It doesn't always happen, but this is also what happens when you pay less at AliExpress. Yeah. So this box is now garbage, but I am glad to get this because I really do like Shimo. She's a really cool kaiju in my opinion. I loved her in the movie, and I wanted to have this figure as well as the SH Monsterarts, which we did review a little bit earlier this year. So without further ado, let's get to this review. And here's Shimo out of the package, and I'm gonna preface this with this. This is Hiya Toys' best figure. Hands down, best figure since the original Godzilla. I still love that original Godzilla they did, even though some folks didn't like it. It was my favorite toy of that year. I think this is probably better than that figure. Is it figure of the year? That's a good question. I don't think so, only because my criteria for that is so vast, and there's so many things I value, and it really all depends on that year's worth of figures. But it is a really, really, really nice figure. It's very good. It's definitely, in my opinion, Hiya's best figure overall, all told. I think the look is really, really nice here. It's without a doubt the best articulated figure that they've done. I also think the plastic quality feels better here than it has on other figures. And I mentioned this during my unboxing, but I don't know if that's a product of just having more joints and the way it feels. But it is still heavy, so it's not like completely like SH Monsterarts, but it's different enough feeling to me than the other Hiya Toys figures I've dealt with. It definitely feels different to me. It's still heavy, but it's different. It's really, really nice. Now, this, was brought up, and I hate to bring this stuff up, but you know what? It's good to talk about this. Someone brought up that this is the definitive Shimo figure, and I'm gonna say I don't think so. I'm not saying that the SH Monsterarts is either, because obviously it is not. Because they went more with the look of the prototype, as did the Playmates. As you can see, the kind of synergy with the longer face there. We're going to look, obviously, at the two together a little bit later. But as far as movie accuracy goes, while this one strays closer than the SH Monsterarts, I don't think it's completely the same. For one thing, I mean, and I'll say this right off the bat, the SH Monsterarts did the dorsals or, spikes or whatever a little bit closer to what it is. You know, and that's all just in the translucency of those spikes. But these are really nice, and I do like the metallics, the blues and the purples, and how they look. Really, really, really well done here. I think they turned out pretty fantastic, you know. I do like him. This Shimo has some smaller tail spikes. Like I said in my unboxing, I do appreciate that they are not articulated, and they just are, you know, as part of the tail. I think it's a better way to go. I've had a lot of problems with mine on the SH Monster, so this is much better. The look of the figure is really, really nice. I will say this, and this is why, another reason why I don't feel like it's as definitive as some folks would like me to say. I think it's actually overdone a little bit. Like, I think it's actually too detailed, and if you watch the movie, it's a little less intense on the detail than the actual figure is. I think they went more, like, ingrained and sculpted than, you know, it needed to be. Is that a bad thing? No, it looks really, really good. Like, it looks awesome, but I don't think it's quite as detailed in the movies. And, you know, all of this, like, I don't know what it is. It's kind of like a little bit of a purplish hue to it. Not the, like, kind of glossiness, but, like, within all of the detail, there's, like, I don't know if it's a purple or if it's kind of like a little bit of a red. Like, let's zoom in a little further. Like, in the cracks. Yeah, it's, like, more like a reddish. Like, I'm failing to see that, like, in the movie. So, while it looks awesome and it brings out all of this intense sculpt work that they did, I don't know. And then, like, the color itself of the plastic, it's more like I guess like an eggshell, and I don't know if that's quite right either. What is quite right is all of this detail here that's picked out in the purples. That's, you know, something I'm glad that they did. I do have a mess up here from the mouth paint. See that right there? That's popping out. Not a big deal, but, you know, wanted to point it out anyway. The rest of the mouth looks really good, though. Nice teeth. Nice tongue. It is articulated. Look at that tongue. Really, really nicely done. The eyes look pretty good on both sides. Snout, and again, short face here. I do think that is a little bit more accurate than what, you know, Monsterarts did, but either way, it's good. It looks good, you know, and that's the point. Like, if it looks good, and it looks good on both, like, what is the big deal? So, this is awesome, though. I really, really like this. Again, you do have that metallic sheen to it, which looks cool. And that is, like, a really cool feature of Shimo, and I'm glad both companies did that. So, I think this is really, really nice. Again, really beautiful sculpt throughout. I do like it a lot. Like, the plates look fantastic. And the way they're painted, it brings out so much detail. The hands, or feet, front feet look really, really good. I do like it. Nails are painted a little bit more accurately again. It definitely looks closer to what's on film. Bottom feet are very, very nice. Here's the other side. You do have, you know, some legalese there. Much more detail, though, over here. And I guess these do act as, you know, if Shimo does stand. And that's a problem with both figures, unfortunately, is, like, and we're going to get into the articulation a little bit more. Shimo does not stand on either figure well. And that's unfortunate, because that look is pretty cool and it's menacing. And it should, and, you know, the way they articulated the fingers, again, we're going to go over all that in a second, but it would have been cooler, like, you know, if Shimo was able to stand better. But overall, man, it looks great. The chest and belly, I don't know what fell behind me, but we're going to move on. Look really, really nice. all the way to the tail. Again, you know, I do appreciate that these are connected. I do like the bigger ones on the SH Monsterarts, but I think this works. I feel like this tail might be a little short, but I'm not 100% sure of that. Like, the angles on the tails and stuff in the movie are, like, kind of hard to gauge. And that's the thing, like, with any of this stuff. It's like, it's all movement, and in certain scenes it looks way whiter, you know, and certain scenes it looks a little darker, and, you know, the colors are skew more this way, so it's really hard to say. But this is a fantastic figure. Like, that's the bottom line. This is an awesome figure. I'm really, really digging it. It's pretty superb. Like, there's no other way around it. Beautiful detail throughout. I love all these little spikies on the sides. Those look amazing. Again, the dorsals, like, when you look at it, like, from here, it just looks so cool. Really, really well done. Yeah, it's very, very nicely done throughout. So, very good. No doubt about it. Alright, let's get to that articulation. We'll just keep it here. The mouth opens and closes, as you saw. And the tongue moves excellently. Really, really good. Head moves there. Head moves there. I do appreciate how it kind of comes in and out over here. It's nicely done. And the front legs here move like so. Got some twist there. You do have a double joint here, kind of. And then down here, you have a joint. And then all of these fingers do move. It's kind of cool. I mean, I'm not going to say no to it, right? But then you don't get it in the back, you know. However, in the back, hey, this is amazing. I really like how this feels. And they attempted something like this on I think it was like Skullcrawler, but didn't quite work as well. They have this ankle joint in two pieces here, and this ball acts as the joint itself. I think they did it way better here than on that figure, so kudos to them for figuring this out, because I think it's really cool. You get a nice ankle rocker out of it as well, so that's excellent. I'm really, really digging that. To me, that's very cool. And then you got the leg here, like, kind of like, ooh, that's tight. I don't know if that's supposed to move. Maybe it does move, but this side's stuck on mine. Ooh, yeah, a little stuck on over there. That's not good. And then it moves there. Legs move here. You're not getting a lot of range of motion in the legs. A little bit more on that side than... Maybe it's just this side is just messed up on mine. I don't know why. It's all janked up. Man. And then the tail. It's sufficiently articulated. It's good. It feels good moving it. And that's a good thing. And that's the thing. Like, this figure really does feel awesome moving it. Nothing is falling, you know, out of place or anything. And that to me is a big plus. So yeah, I mean, it's a pretty great Shimo. There's not much else to say. And for your size comparisons, first up here is a Shimo with the SH Monsterarts Kong and Scar King, as well as the Playmates Suko, because I don't have the SH Monsterarts yet. So the interesting thing to note about this Shimo is they made it small. And that's an interesting thing, because the Hiya Toys figures are much bigger than the SH Monsterarts stuff. And they made it to scale with the SH Monsterarts stuff. So it begs the question, will the Hiya GXK stuff be smaller? Because they're going to run into problems as far as scaling if this, you know, is not the right size, right? Because, you know, accuracy is one of the things that they're going for here. So I'm interested to see how their figures, will, I tapped here, their figures will end up looking with Shimo. But right now, really scales well with the Monsterarts. Like, it's very interesting. And here it is with the Monsterarts Godzilla Evolved, and yeah, I mean, it's looking good with it. You know, there's nothing else I can say. And just to illustrate the point of Shimo with highest figures, yeah, I mean, I feel like, as big as this, Shimo is, it's still not big enough compared to Godzilla and Kong here. Obviously, this is not from this movie, but still, these are Hayas, so a little bit odd. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think down below. And here now is the SH Monsterarts, which I really do love too, except for the tail, little fins thing. I've had a lot of problems with this particular one. It's in there now, but, I don't know. Lots of problems there. But I do love the dorsals here. But, before we even get to, like, other comparisons, like, size-wise, I mean, they are pretty much the same, with the Monsterarts just being a tad bit bigger, with a tad bit of a longer tail. And obviously these things are way, way bigger on the Monsterarts. Not better, bigger. So it's very, very interesting. I almost feel like the Monsterarts will scale better with the Hiya stuff than the Hiya. But that's interesting and something I'll talk about more a little bit. But I do like both of them. I think they're both really cool. Again, I feel like, for those that were wondering about, like, definitive figures in this scale, like, I feel like the definitive figure in this scale is probably somewhere in between, because they both have elements I really, really like. I think, the translucent spikes, dorsals, whatever you want to call them, just look better on the Monsterarts and just feel more like what's in the film, because they're constantly getting lit up and stuff, and it just looks right to me in that regard. But these look good too. I mean, and I do like that they're just like really, really big on the Monsterarts. So longer neck here, shorter neck here, but again, they were going off two different sets of material. What's right, what's wrong, that's up to you, like, obviously. I think they both look good, and I've said this before, when I've done comparison videos, which I don't really do much anymore. But, I mean, I did one recently-ish. But, like, I think, there's room for both, because they look so different. And that's what I like about it, like, they're both really, really cool, and they give me a different look for a Titan, a kaiju, that I'm really fond of. I really like Shimo, and I like both of these looks for her, so this is pretty awesome. It's a great year to be a fan of this particular kaiju, because these are both excellent. And one last bonus comparison, here it is with the giant Shimo, from Playmates, which might end up looking sizing the best with the Hiya Toys stuff, depending again how big they are. But none of the other figures are out yet. Heck, this one took a year to come out. So, And my final thoughts: I really like this figure. It's very well done. There's a couple things here and there, like little kind of minor things that are could be better on it, but overall, this is awesome. And for the price, this is really good. And as you saw, it scales really, really well with the Monsterarts stuff. So if you had to skip the Shimo from Monsterarts for the price, and I get that for sure, like, if I wasn't like such a huge fan of both this Titan and Monsterarts, I probably wouldn't have gotten it, just because of the price. Like, this is a fantastic alternative. Like, not only fantastic, like, it's a great figure, so it's like, you can easily just put this in with those. As you saw, it sizes perfectly. It's actually a tiny bit smaller than the Monsterarts, which, again, could end up being something that turns people off to this figure that are, like, that love the Hiya stuff. So it's gonna really depend on how big Hiya makes those other figures. Like, are they making them smaller? Because it's very, very interesting that this figure isn't bigger. But here's the thing again, like, you couldn't have made this figure bigger and, priced it the way it is. The price is really, really great. Now, again, I paid a little bit more because I got it from AliExpress and, you know, wanted to get it as soon as possible. Again, just to beat out the tariff rush, and just because I really wanted this figure to be here sooner than later. Again, took a year to come out. So I don't know, like, final price now coming to the US. A lot of, like, the shops, the BBTS, Entertainment Era, they've upped their prices a little bit because of it, because of the tariffs. So I don't know how much you know, it's going to end up being for everyone, and I might have ended up paying the exact amount that I would have paid. So I'm happy with it. I think it's an awesome figure. It is, without a shadow of a doubt, the best Hiya Toys kaiju figure that I've had the chance to pick up and play with and review. I love it. It's awesome, and there you have it. I mean, there's nothing else to say. It's a great figure. Definitely going to rank on my best of the year. It'll be interesting, and, you know, by the time the end of the year comes about, which one that, you know, I end up liking better. Because sometimes it takes a while for me to formulate that complete opinion. This or the Monsterarts, which is going to be better at the end of the year. You're going to have to tune in to my best of the year, you know, at the end of this year. Well, the beginning of next year, right? To find out. But this is awesome. Definitely get it if you haven't. If you didn't get the SH Monsterarts, get it. The scales, all of that stuff, you know, and there you have it. That's my review. Hope you dug it. Let me know your thoughts down below. And if you're new to the channel, why don't you go ahead and sub yourself for daily content and let me help you diversify your collection. Till next time, peace out, people.